Greetings, Palian housing enthusiasts. Welcome to today's tutorial, but before we get into it, I would like to share with everyone an image that was shared with me a number of times of a proudhorn stag beetle. After tracking down the original, it was posted to the Plot Tours forum on the official Palia housing Discord by a user, but forgive me if my pronunciation is not correct, but it's Google Translate tells me it's negima. I'll put both the kanji and the translated version in the video description. But yeah, this image was sent to me both in direct message and in a private group that I am a part of, and people asked me, "Hey, Diamond Dragon, how do?" And I was just like, I mean, there are several ways that one could do, and I sussed it out because that's how I roll. People ask me a question, I give them an answer. And that was Saturday? I don't know. Sometime or Saturday, Sunday, I don't know. I could check the logs. But yeah, here we are. Now, the reason why I'm sharing everyone this information is just due to the fact that I hold myself to a certain standard, and I realize that not everyone does. And I think it's about time that we as a community realize that it's not okay to hold other people to that standard that I've imposed upon myself. And the standard being giving credit where credit's due. Just because I vehemently believe it doesn't mean everyone does. And that's their choice. And it's not our job to police other people. It's not. Because we don't, how do we really know if, someone came up with an idea themselves, or was inspired by someone else, or someone saw something in one video and had an aha moment, and it's each and every person's choice to mention their process and their journey. A friend of mine equated it to kind of having a secret recipe. Not everyone wants to mention their secret recipe, and that kind of clicked with me, and it was just does that kind of make sense? Because at the end of the day, we're all teaching, which is all good for the community as a whole, I think. That being said, I'm not going to change how I operate because I am who I am, and the world isn't going to change me. And with that out of the way, let's get to today's tutorial, which is a continuation on the video that I posted yesterday, which was just raw footage from yesterday's stream, in which I show how to make bugs look like they're crawling on trees. Now, in yesterday's demonstration, I showed how to do it with 2 people. In today's tutorial, I will be doing the solo version of it. Fret not, switch players, I will be doing a part 2 to this tutorial, which will be a condensed version of the material that was in yesterday's video. Alright. So, everybody ready? So I'm about to go over the materials. So, we're going to need a builder's wood floor, builder's wood wall. We're going to need an item can be literally anything, because we're going to be using the solo float technique, which uses item cancellation. More on that. Sorry, I threw a lot out. I threw a lot of words at you guys. Don't worry, I'll explain in a hot second. Don't worry. Then from there, we will also need wood slab pavers, round concrete pavers, biscuits. And then the most important thing of all, right, is you're gonna need your bug plushies. Alright. So for all of this to work, we're going to make this little setup that I have here. And I'll rebuild it so everybody can see how I did it. So you start by placing down your wood floor, and then you place your wood wall in the center of the wood floor. And then you take your industrial shelf, and you can really place it anywhere on the wall. You should have your little setup like this. You can move it around. Good. I'm just going to move this guy out of the way. Alright, for the first example, we're going to do the lantern bug plush. So we are going to want to use specific models with the pavers. And we're just going to want to use the smallest ones. Because for those that are unaware, if you cycle through them, they do come, the wood ones come in 4 different varieties. That's what this whole thing was. It was going to be like a pretty display of all the different sizes of pavers. But then I completely forgot that the pavers are bugging out left, right, and center. So, yeah, you know, best laid plans of mice and men, you know. So, here we are. Anywho, moving on. So, okay, we got it on the first try. So there is our small wood paver. Just take it, I think that. If you have a stack of them and you're not sure which size it is, yeah, so that is the small one. Fantastic. So we're going to take our small one and we're going to bring it over to the shelf. And we're going to bring it over to the left side of the shelf. And we're going to place it so the edge of the paver is hanging off ever so slightly. From there, we just take our shelf and turn it 90 degrees. That's good. Now we take our shelf that is turned 90 degrees and move it to the top left corner here. Top left corner, right there. Boop. Perfect. Alright. And now this part's important, because I found out in talking with someone from the stream yesterday that there was some miscommunication between like tiny dragon speak to, you know, like the common tongue. Because when I said moving from one end of the wall to the other end, in my mind, that meant from one point to the other last point. But they took it as like making it flush with the edge of the wall. Now for sure that'll work for sure. But if you want the height that I will get, I would just go to the top left corner, and then go from the top left corner, and then we're just going to go to the top right corner, and you will achieve the same height that I do. And then so when we're at the top right corner, we're going to press our number key that has an item on it. So in my case, it's the number 1 that has not so many magi on it. Boop. There we go. So now this whole bit here is primed for floating. Now we grab our bug that we would like to float. And there we go. Rotate it to desired cuteness. And now this is why we have the floor. So we just grab the floor and we place it down in the exact same spot that it was. And I just find that having the floor makes it easier to find the exact place that it was. And there, now we have a lantern bug plush that's all cute and adorbs. And this is why we went with the paver, because the pavers are something called bumpers, which means that they just bump items. Just a little bit. And yeah. So this is why we have the 2 different kinds of pavers. So the wood slab paver is good for the pine tree. And you rotate the pine tree a bit. Get it all snug and cozy. It's also good with the birch tree. Wait. And now, there you go. So you guys can see. Now we can do the exact same thing, but with a round concrete paver. Place it on the end. Rotate 90 degrees. we can combine those two steps. So rotate 90 degrees, shove it up into the corner. Move from corner to corner. Perform an item cancellation by pressing one of our number keys that has an item on it. And now we grab, let's just grab another lantern bug, just to show. There we go. And now this one is good for juniper trees. And our oak trees. It's so cute. But yeah. I hope everyone found this video informative. Biscuits. Big thanks goes out to Palia, as always, for graphics. Be sure to check them out for the Palia assistant if you would like to check out your item limit, among other things. It's super useful. Along with that, a big thanks goes out to Bullets and Bronze for the new music. As well, a massive thanks goes out to everybody at Unofficial Palia Housing. Check out the description for a link if you'd like to join. If anybody would like to come hang out, I stream every Monday and Wednesday, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to 5 p.m. Bring your questions. I love doing demonstrations. As always, I've been a tiny dragon with titanic dreams, hoping your dreams are and always will be just as big. See you in the future, fam.